Welcome to the live outside broadcast of the Iftar Show. My name is Luqman Shadrack. Today we're coming from a legendary mosque right here in the center of Cape Town, in Muir Street, and also known as Zeenatul Islam. It's such an honor and a privilege to be here. If you're from the Cape area, you know how iconic this venue is as well. And speaking about iconic, a businessman and entrepreneur that we all know in Cape Town is also the treasurer right here at the masjid, Uncle Adam Ibrahim. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam, Luqman.
Jazakallah so much for affording me your time and allowing us to be here today as well. I hope Ramadan has been good for you.
It's been exceptional, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. For those that don't know too much about the history of this beautiful masjid and the organization, the committee, would you like to give us a brief history lesson?
Sure. So, assalamu alaikum to all the viewers. Inshallah, Ramadan's gone well for everyone. The history of this masjid started more than 100 years ago. And in fact, 1900, when the community, my grandparents and his colleagues arrived in the shores of the Cape from India, from Gujarat, and they resided in this road. A lot of them resided in this road, Muir Street and Chapel Street, and the municipal market was just down the road. And my grandparents lived in number 3 Muir Street.
I see.
And the first Jamaat Khana was actually in the house for about 10 years. And then around about 1919, they acquired, made a decision to start a masjid. And by January 2020, the first masjid was built and serving the community. And in 1940s, the masjid was rebuilt. And that masjid of the 1940s was the largest masjid in the Southern Hemisphere. And then about 18 years ago, the masjid was rebuilt and extended, and that's where we are today.
Okay. But during that time, I mean, South Africa went through a bit of turmoil and a bit of, rich history that we have as well. And surely in the area, there must have been quite a few people that were displaced.
Well, the whole community was displaced. I mean, this was a vibrant community, Hanover Street, Chapel Street, so many, and most of us grew up here and were born here. And so what you had is the Group Areas Act had an effect of a couple of effects. The one effect was it moved the community away from the masjid. So you had a masjid that didn't, which was the center of a vibrant community for a long time, and then suddenly the people left. They were forced, they didn't leave, they were forced to leave.
Correct.
And then the second effect was that the masjid was actually set up by our forefathers with a waqf. Right? So if you know Cape Town well, in Walmer Estate, in Chester Road, not Chester Road, Upper Cambridge Street and Marsden Road, there's a whole batch of houses that was owned by the masjid. In Dean Street, Newlands, that whole row of semi-detached houses opposite Sachs School was owned by the masjid, and the masjid owned quite a few houses in District 6. And the Group Areas Act dispossessed the masjid and the community of all those houses for absolutely very, very little. To date, the restitution process hasn't effectively been kicked in, and inshallah we will be able to get something. So the community that the masjid serves today, or over that period, was the community of the City Bowl. And then also the people you'll see later on as people arrive for iftar, the people working in town and on transit home. And then more recently, in the last 10, 15 years, there's been a local community that's been built up.
Alhamdulillah. I do know you have an established madrasa at the masjid as well. Tell us a bit about that.
Now, the masjid, this used to be the Muir Street's primary school at the bottom of the masjid. And so one of the byproducts of the people moving away is the fact that a lot of those functions and those services that you'd normally have in a masjid. So there's my kids, they're just enjoying themselves, so alhamdulillah. So a lot of those for a long period there was no activity other than the 5 salahs, Taraweeh and Jummah salahs amongst others. In the last 2 years, the beginning of last year, so we had a new committee that started in the middle of 2022, and we looked at the situation and said we really needed to reinvigorate. And the reinvigoration, and this will be a continuous process going forward, was threefold. Getting the activities functional. Secondly, connecting with the communities, and thirdly, maintenance, etc. So what we're looking at is today, alhamdulillah, this is our second year of activity. We have roughly 95 students in the madrasa. We have roughly 15 students that are in the Hifz school. And the adult classes are well attended, Monday to Wednesday, Thursday evenings, the dhikr. And Abdurrahman will talk to you a bit about the other, connectivities. But so we've really tried to get closer to the community. And then part of that process is to get more volunteers. And because by connecting ourselves to the masjid, and the community at masjid, we've got to get the community to volunteer. So that volunteering starts with finance. So Abdurrahman Mayman volunteers his time, he travels to be at the masjid so that he can serve us, and he serves the masjid in many areas. We've got people like the Hartley family that collects, and they'll do anything to assist the masjid. And then you have, it's just amazing, you have people cleaning the masjid. Tonight, the maintenance, you have Yusuf Ismail, you have Sadiq Umar, so many people. And then on security, Ismail Esak. So it's really pulling everybody closer. And even tonight, as you see, the eats that we have for iftar, it's done by community members. Roshan Ibrahim does the sweets. Mariam Musa does the savories. Buta Kasim does the soup. So,
I would love to continue this conversation. Unfortunately, we do have a limited amount of time. We'd love to come back and obviously do an in-depth discussion as well. All the very best to you, Uncle Adam, the family, and the committee of the masjid as well, inshallah.
To you and the listeners, I'm going to say Eid Mubarak in advance. You had a good Ramadan, and may Allah bless the whole community and all those people suffering oppression around the world. May give them ease in this time and bring them great success, inshallah. And we look forward to speaking to you soon.
Jazakallah so much. Assalamu alaikum. Uncle Adam Ibrahim chatting to us, who's the treasurer of the masjid as well. The masjid normally brings through people from all over the world, whether it's Friday khutbah, whether it's special programs through the year. And to talk to us a bit more as well, Uncle Abdurrahman Mayman, who gives us a little bit more history about that. Assalamu alaikum, Uncle. Are you well?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And also to the viewers, I should say, not the listeners.
Jazakallah so much. There's always been very prominent speakers that have come from all over the world and even locally to celebrate various religious programs here as well. Tell our viewers a bit more about those.
Yeah, so the masjid has always invited speakers on special occasions. And as recently as about a week before Ramadan, we had Sheikh Habib Muhammad Abdullah from Yemen, also known as Al-Andalus, to come and deliver a lecture at the masjid and also to perform a dhikr. And also for the last 2-3 years, we've had top qaris coming from Morocco to recite the Quran during the Taraweeh Salah, and also for the Tahajjud and for the Layl in the evening.
Splendid. It must be so nice for the Musallis to experience this worldwide culture that's coming right here in their doorsteps, and must so appreciate it.
They certainly do. And, from the comments we receive back, they really appreciate, the people coming from outside of Cape Town and other parts of the world to, come and talk to the Musallis at the masjid. And we also get a number of visitors from other countries when they are here on holiday. They come for Jum'ah Salah and for, Waqtu prayers. And the way we see that is in the collection boxes. We get some foreign currency, so we can see, where people have come from. Yeah, and we truly appreciate that.
And then obviously the local shuyukh do obviously come through and celebrate various salahs with you as well?
Yes, they do, and we do invite some local sheikhs, and Maulanas to come and deliver topics of discussion for us at the various Jummah programs.
Uncle Abdurrahman, Jazakallah so much for affording us your time. I know it takes time away from the family to be here for the organization and the masjid, and may all your projects go from strength to strength, inshallah.
We make dua for the masjid to have continued success with all of the initiatives we have undertaken over the last year and a half. Inshallah.
All the very best.
Okay, shukran. Okay, assalamu alaikum.
And that's part of the history of the masjid. Renowned qadis coming from all over the world to celebrate various waqfs right here as well. Speaking about people from all over the world, we have the honor of speaking to a sheikh that has just arrived from Morocco as well, Sheikh Yusuf Kranoni. Assalamu alaikum. Are you well, Sheikh?
كيف حالكم فضيلة الشيخ؟
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. الحمد لله بخير. الحمد لله.
And we've got Sheikh Ziad definitely translating for us as well. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Jazakallah for having us. Sheikh, can you maybe tell us a bit more about the relationship between Moroccan Ministry of Awqaf and South Africa?
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله وصحبه أجمعين. أنا معكم يوسف الشقروني ممثل وزارة الأوقاف والشؤون الإسلامية المغربية.
I am a representative of the Awqaf from Morocco, that is Sheikh Yusuf.
الحمد لله جئت في إطار بعثة محمد السادس للعلماء الأفارقة.
I came with the convoy of Muhammad al-Sadis, the sixth that had sent through to South Africa, alhamdulillah, and around the different countries in Africa itself.
هذه المؤسسة التي لها الشرف أنها تنضم وتنضاف وإلى جلالة محمد السادس حفظه الله ورعاه.
It has the honor that this particular organization is directly guided by the King Muhammad VI, alhamdulillah, with this organization itself.
هذه المؤسسة حقيقة هي تسهر في ترسيخ جهود علماء المسلمين في المغرب وسائر البلدان الإفريقية بشكل عام.
He says that this particular organization has a lot of strive in many different countries by the scholars, by the ulama, that is all around in Africa specifically.
وكذلك هذه المؤسسة لها فروع عديدة في عدة بلدان إفريقية قد تصل إلى 50 فرعاً.
And it has more than about 50 institutions and organizations of this particular organization all around Africa, about approximately 50.
ومن ضمن فروعها فرع مؤسسة محمد السادس للعلماء الأفارقة هنا بجنوب إفريقيا، هذا البلد المضياف.
And of course, here in South Africa, one of the 50 is found within South Africa under the directive of Muhammad, the King Muhammad VI, alhamdulillah.
جئت هنا إلى هذا المسجد المبارك ضمن هذه الثلة الطيبة من الإداريين والشيخ زيد لنتعاون وتتضافر جهودنا من أجل إحياء هذا الشهر المبارك في أبهى حله.
I've come to South Africa and specifically this beautiful masjid and have joined the beautiful team that I was with, and he mentions myself as well as the Imam, to really gather upon that which is good and righteous for the month of Ramadan.
We've unfortunately run out of time. Jazakallah so much, Sheikh. Shukran for allowing us your time, and all the very best with your future projects.
بارك الله فيكم سيدي وشكر الله لكم وعيد مبارك سعيد. أهله الله عليكم باليمن والبركات وعلى هذا البلد الكريم بالأمن والأمان والاستقرار وسائر البلاد الإسلامية والإفريقية جميعا. بارك الله فيكم. جزاكم الله خير.
So the Sheikh made dua that Allah grants that the whole country and everybody in the country and all those that are afflicted with difficulties and trials, Allah grant them ease, and Allah grant for all of us together all the khair, the goodness and barakah. And he says Eid Mubarak to each and every one as well.
A couple of minutes left, and I want to get to Sheikh Fatah very quickly as well. It's someone that I hold in high respect, because when I come into this masjid, I'm glued at Jumu'ah. You know, the khutbah is always something that encapsulates what is happening in the world, and more importantly, closer to home as well. Have you had a good Ramadan, Sheikh?
Too short. It was so perfect that it was too short.
And with the extra day as well.
No, 100%. Everybody was waiting. Ya Allah, they wanted Eid today. Alhamdulillah, I said it was a great day. We were able to worship Allah for Ramadan once again. And that's the beauty of Ramadan. Alhamdulillah.
What do we take away from this Ramadan? What can we instill in our lives going forward as we anticipate the Adhan going off very, very shortly?
Establish your Iman, strive upon your deen, and just be genuine in your ibadah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is what Allah wants from us: sincerity, be genuine, and Allah will open all the doors bi'idhnillahi ta'ala.
Sheikh, Jazakallah so much for having us here as well. Inshallah, we'll be back soon to discuss a lot more that happens at the masjid as well. All the best to you and the family, inshallah.
Barak to each and every one, and to all the viewers, Jazakumullah khairan jaza. Assalamu alaikum.
Sheikh Fatah always making time for us. As you can hear the adhan going off, it's time to break our fast in Cape Town. Do join us. Well, I was going to say for another day. Unfortunately, we won't be here tomorrow. This is our last broadcast for Ramadan. Jazakallah to everybody that's made a contribution towards this broadcast, and for all the masajids for opening up their doors, the committee members, the community. Jazakallah so much as well. Eid Mubarak from myself, the Hilaal team, cameraman Riyad Hin, in studio Sahel Barnes, our Joburg team, from myself Luqman Shadrack. Have a great evening. Assalamu alaikum.